random people on the internet, I'm Elsbeth and welcome to my Booktube channel where I basically just babble about books. I have recently come to realise that, this morning, just come to realise that I have met my yearly reading goal of 100 books in a year, which is part of a larger plan to try and read 1,000 books in a decade. Bear in mind, this is crazy to me because this is the first year that I've been writing down most of the books that I've read. There are some exceptions, of course. I am not counting revision guides or textbooks, and I'm also not counting any internet articles or fan stories or stories uploaded online. I'm also not counting picture books and things like that as well, or leaflets, or playmills or anything like that, programs or anything. Just novels, unless I've forgotten to write them down. I probably have forgotten a few, but I try my best to write down most of the books I've read this year. So far, it's not the end of the year. I have made some stats and some pie charts because pie charts are cool, and I'm moving around in my swivelly chair because why not? On to the stats. I read 101 books, so I'm not going to do it by percentage because that sounds complicated and there'll be a lot of decimals. So I'm just saying the amount that I read. So the genre I've read the most of was fantasy, in which I read 17 books, which is more than I thought I had. I don't remember reading that many, but I must have done. Following that, I've also read 9 dystopians and 9 thriller books. I don't know why I read 9 thriller books, because I don't like a lot of things in the thriller genre. So most of the time I don't enjoy books that you would consider thrillers unless there's a psychological element, which I find quite interesting. I guess it's kind of because when I was younger I used to read kids horror, and I'm still working my way out of the in-between stage where I'm am I ready for real horror books or not? So I guess that's why. I'm not even far into the stats and I'm already waffling, so I'm sorry. On the other side of things, there are some books that I didn't read a lot of that I want to read more of. Some of them I don't care for that much and I don't want to read more of. I read just the right amount of them. But the ones I'd like to read more of are books that are written in verse. So I only read 1 poetry book, and I'm not including the school poetry collection because I'm not counting textbooky things. And short stories as well. I only read 2 of, and I know that I like short stories. I just don't tend to buy them. I usually borrow them from the library or something if I do get short stories, and even then that's not that often. Other things I'd like to try are a proper horror scary book aimed for adults, and trying a graphic novel, because I've only read 1 before I liked it. I was 11 years old and I haven't read a single one since then, and that's like a popular thing on Booktube, so I want to see what the hype is all about. So if you have any recommendations for any of those genres, please let me know. So here's a pie chart comparing all the different like genres I read. So if you want to read that, you can, but you don't have to. Okay, cool. Now let's talk about pages of books. Because yes, at the start of the year, it was one of my New Year's resolutions to read a set number of pages. So you bet I looked up how many pages are in each of the books, or like flip to the last page and put down that number. So yeah, I'm not including like if there's a little snippet of another book in the back or anything like that, or like an index or stuff. I'm not counting those pages. I'm just counting the pages from page 1 of the story to the last page of the story. So my end of year goal for pages read was 30,000 pages, and I have exceeded that by quite a bit so far. I have read where does it say? 35,427. If I can find a way of putting that text in the air, then I have done. Ta-da! I thought this bit would be better off, I suppose, with the diagram on screen, but it's basically showing like which age intended audience things I read. And here's another diagram comparing how much I've read in like this time in 2020 so far. Of course, it isn't the end of August, but that's the amount I've read so far, and I don't know, that might be the amount I read in August if I don't read anything else. And here's the last pie chart, and it's talking about how many pages were in each of the books that I read. I wasn't going to do this pie chart at first, but then I was like, what's the point in counting all the pages if I'm not even going to make a pie chart? I'm going to go more in depth about the actual books and stuff at the end of the year. I just thought now would be a good time to do stats, because if you didn't know, I didn't do the mid-year book freak out because I'm not like other booktubers. I'm joking, I am exactly like other booktubers, and that's a good thing. That totally isn't a metaphor about the rest of society. Lol. So I've finished doing all the statistics that I have. Yay, I have no life. Why do I spend my time doing this? Anyway, that's the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't, I'm sorry. If you did, then that's good. And I'll hope you see you again at some point for another video. Bye.